The shadow in the deep. The mood aboard the Viper is fouler than a bilge rat's nest. That damned emerald. Finnegan hasn't slept, just sits and mutters to it, calling it the eye and the heartstone. The green glow from his corner of the forecastle is a constant, unnerving presence. The men are spooked. They don't trust the stone, they don't trust Finnegan, and they're starting to side-eye me for allowing it aboard. Bones is the loudest. It's a blight, James. Throw it overboard. Let the thing that shrieked have it back. You might be right, but a captain can't show fear of an object. You fear an enemy ship, a storm, a Navy broadside things you can fight. You start fearing jewels and old stories, and you're not a captain anymore. You're just a scared man on a boat. So I keep my mouth shut and my face hard, and the emerald stays. Today, the sea decided to up the stakes. The wind died at noon. Not a gentle lull, but a complete, utter cessation. One moment the sails were full, the next they hung limp as wet laundry. The Viper drifted to a stop on a sea of polished, oily glass. The calm was absolute, deafening. No waves, no breeze, just the creak of the hot timbers and the slow, sickening roll of the ship on the invisible swell. This wasn't weather. This was a hell breath. We were all on edge, sweating in the stagnant heat, when Thomas saw it. He was leaning over the starboard rail, trailing his fingers in the water, trying to feel a current that wasn't there. He went stiff. Then he stumbled back, falling onto the deck, his face bone white, pointing a trembling finger. Below, something big. Every man rushed to the rail. I saw it. A vast, amorphous shadow, darker than the deep blue, gliding just beneath the surface. It wasn't a whale. Wrong shape, too long, too sinuous, with no clear head or tail. It was a living patch of midnight. It passed directly under the Viper from stern to bow, taking a full minute to complete its transit. The water didn't ripple, didn't churn. It just darkened where the thing was, as if swallowing the light. My ship, my 70-foot brigantine, felt like a cockle-shell raft on a lake over an abyss. No one spoke. The only sound was the rapid, panicked breathing of the crew. Then it was gone, sinking into the depths without a trace, leaving us floating on that mirror-still sea. Leviathan, one of the newer hands, a God-fearing man from Bristol, whispered, his voice cracking. He made the sign of the cross. Nonsense, Swift Mary snapped, but her knuckles were white where she gripped the shrouds. A basking shark, a big one. They look strange from above. Sharks don't have shadows that big, Finnegan said, not looking up from his emerald, which pulsed with a slow, steady light. And they don't move without moving the water. That was a watcher, the guardian of the passages. It knows we have the key. It's marking us. That was the last straw for the crew. A low mutter of fear and anger rippled through them. I had to act fast. Enough, I roared, my voice like a cannon shot in the silence. It was a damn fish, a trick of the light in a dead calm. You're pirates, not nursemaids jumping at shadows. Man the sweeps. If the wind won't take us, our backs will. The order, harsh and physical, was a lifeline. The men jumped to it, grateful for something to do, for a way to fight the creeping terror. We broke out the long, heavy oars from below and fitted them into the ports. Soon, the only sounds were the grunts of men straining and the rhythmic dip splash of the sweeps biting into the glassy water. We were rowing a pirate ship. The absurdity of it almost made me laugh, but the burn in my shoulders and back was all too real. We rode for what felt like an eternity, the sun beating down. Just as the light began to bleed into the gold of late afternoon, the lookout, his voice hoarse, called down again. Not for a shadow, for a sail. It was the Crimson Revenge, battered, missing her topmast, her hull patched with raw, new timber, but very much afloat. Silas Vance had survived the storm, and he'd found us. He sat a mile off our starboard beam, his ship as dead in the water as ours, a vulture waiting for the last twitch of life. He didn't attack. He didn't hail us. He just sat there, a dark silhouette against the setting sun. Watching, Bones came to me, wiping sweat from his brow with a filthy rag. He's waiting, Captain, for night, for us to tire ourselves out rowing. Then he'll pounce. I know. I grunted, taking my turn at an oar, the rough wood biting into my palms. Let him watch. Let him see we don't tire. The wind will come back, and when it does, we'll see how fast his patched-up scow really is. But the confidence in my voice was a thin veneer. My arms ached. My men were exhausted. We were being stalked by a rival on the surface and something else below, and the emerald on the forecastle pulsed on, a green, unblinking eye. Finnegan might be mad, but he was right about one thing. We were being watched. By Vance, by the Shadow, and by this whole damned silent sea. And it was just getting started. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more adventures.